30,000 feet up with your dicker. Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts to turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to look out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy does it. In public, hated to love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already lived. It was written in the children's story. Their life's up, so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm. Have it thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the green is the. I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog to the skull. Ignorant. Can I live? Still film it. Kiss the death, friend, protect your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger, kiss the death, friend, protect your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already lived. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome since 96. You a shook one, breeze and know the ledge. I'm your. What's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm indeed cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lamb.
Yeah, hey, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Little watch out like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the grit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Since
Coupe, Dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah, no it ain't, no it. They ain't talking cash, so I did the race. NASCAR. Get no love where I'm from. When I'm on the beat, I make it thumb. I need that bread like every crumb. Came up from nothing, made a sum. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge, raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Ay, 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 ay.
Honorable C-Note.
Yeah.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Detroit! Leopard!
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
That changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Watch him now, Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Watch him now, Barney!
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle it.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why do you call play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Now they try the right side here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Marshall. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Marshall. And going deep for Hill. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off play action. Lawrence. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
Draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Over! 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 Over!
To throw on 2nd down. Marshall. And going deep for Hill. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Marshall taking a shot here. And got his man complete. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 42 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And that one results in 35 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun. Marshall. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Parkey's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw. Marshall. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So, my man, I pose this question to you. How do you get to be the number 2 defense against the rush in the NFL?
Be better than number 3, I guess.
Okay, right.
And make plays like that, right?
Well, you know, you're right. At its basic, be better than number 3, but you really nailed it. Make plays like that on a consistent basis.
Looking to throw. Marshall. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Over, 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 over!
Operating from the gun. Marshall. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A handoff to Barkley. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey. Watch him now, Barney.
Off the play fake. Lawrence. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Marshall. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Marshall is going to fire one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Lawrence. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
He dumps it off to Barkley. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and in fact we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Gone! Detroit!
From the gun, Marshall. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Marshall. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Throwing on 3rd and long. Marshall, he'll rifle this one deep. He's got a man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Marshall. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Marshall toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Gone!
On 1st down, Marshall. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, Marshall. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense.
Gone!
From the gun on 3rd down, Marshall. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys were sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Over!
Throwing on 1st down, Lawrence. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lawrence. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now a handoff looking right. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
A final shot before break. Marshall. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Marshall being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Detroit! 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 Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Marshall. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gone! 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 Over! 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 Gone! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And the blitz does come. And going deep for Hill. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw. Lawrence going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
A first down carry for Barkley. Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive line.
Well, he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now.
Detroit!
On first down, Marshall. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Kevin King with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. When you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Throwing after the interception. Marshall. Ebron caught left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gun.
To throw on second down, Marshall. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Detroit!
Throwing on first down, Lawrence. Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Marshall is going to fire one deep over the middle. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 30. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he finds a man with a crossing route. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard.
Touchdown, Packers! As his guys are in for 6. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, They use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. 53.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught them off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they try the right side here. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll go on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. So that'll back them up 5. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Chicago. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Packers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And on the ground they go with a running back. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to 1st.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Barney.
A handoff, Barkley running left, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Gun!
They'll go to Barkley again. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
Gun!
Off the play fake. Lawrence. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, Lawrence. His throw incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Marshall. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action, Marshall. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Marshall. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Detroit!
So now 20
Detroit!
yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice, got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, That rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Green Bay, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. 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 With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snaps. I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Trampoline, back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Sideways, sideways. Honorable C notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Buddha
Yeah.
blesses me.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now,
tats and gold, rock the shows, big bang rolls, cash. Now she go, for the team, now she don't skid, splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man,